It's a rather festive atmosphere here in the town of Hunedoara. And we are up top of the hill, and this is Corvin Castle. One of the largest castle complexes in the entire continent of Europe, and one of Romania's 7 wonders. It is rather large. A very, very big tourist attraction here in this area. We are east of Timișoara and Arad, where we last videoed from. And you take a train, it's about 2.5 hours from Arad down to Deva, and then you can take a taxi and or a bus to get down to Hunedoara, which is only about 10 miles, maybe 15 kilometers to the south. See a lot of people walking over the bridge here to get into the castle. I am not planning to go into the castle today. I think I will come back and do a video on another day of going inside, just when it's a little less crowded. But a real pretty scene here. Get down, you see where these little ones are walking down in the water. There's actually a path you can take. If you go back out past where that river or creek curves, there is stone steps that come down from the roadway, and actually I did that about a week or so ago. And you can also see where these folks are coming down. There's a pathway that'll get you down into this lower area. So if you want to go down and splash in the water, you're able to do so. Up there is a hotel and a restaurant. And it looks like we got the DJ setting up for some jams coming up this afternoon or evening. So we'll explore a little bit. Plan today is to just show the castle and then venture back into the town of Hunedoara and show some of the street life and the city life. It is a fantastic town that's other than folks coming for the castle, you know, in and out most of the same day, but there's a lot of really nice places and a lot of cool areas of this little town. So we'll come back with more. So here are the stone steps that I mentioned before, and I thought I would come over and walk down and just give a view from below, because it's really pretty special to see it from a different angle, and you get a little bit more of a full view instead of just being in the front of the castle, coming off to the side. And right down here by the water, you see that. I think most people probably do not know about those stone steps. The only reason I found out is because I walked up from the other direction when I hiked up here last time. Everybody knows the path right here by the bridge, of course, because you've seen a few people come down that. But yeah, once you get down here, now where we just were moments ago is kind of up there. You might be able to see the stage right underneath the bridge. But now down here, a much different view. The way the sun hits it's a little bit different. Pretty nice. It's right there's a little bridge in between buildings, in between castle walls. It's just kind of nice to have a little place where you get down here, you're away from the crowds. Because right now I'm the only person I see down here in the moat area, or whatever you want to call this. And this actually is a river. This is a very narrow portion of it, but it runs for a long way. But yeah, from Corvin Castle in Romania. Kind of walking back towards the main city area. past the Catholic Church here, built in 1912. That's over 100 years ago to you and I. One really nice thing about the town of Hunedoara, which has a population of about 50,000 people, is just how walkable it is as a town. There's many pathways, sidewalks. I'm staying about 2 miles away, and I could take a different path, a different route, pretty much every single day, and I have done that to get into the city or other points. And pretty much every road that you're on is kind of tree covered and very well maintained. As loyal viewer Mike in Florida says every now and again, he's always amazed at how clean these towns are in Europe. And I think it's just because they have such pride in their communities that you know, they don't really stand for litter, which is awesome. See, there are starting to get to be a little bit of color up in the trees as we're in the latter part of summertime, and my guess is autumn will come rather quickly here in Romania. All right, we're going to keep moving on back into the city. So a pleasant surprise walking back into the city center. I came upon the Museum of Communism, and it's a small little museum, but man, there's some really cool stuff here. Here you're looking at the different uniforms of the generals from back in the socialist period that went all the way up until about 1991. Check out these old uniforms. Different ceremony uniforms from service uniforms, forces, things such as that. And then back on this side, see what some of the electronics look like back in the day. A big box television. Children's dolls, some of the sport outfits. No Nike or Adidas here. And this is kind of a neat, some of the old electronics, different types of radios, cassette player, telephones, the old rotary dial, some old money. And you got the little bar area showing what the old beer bottles look like back in the day. Got some soda bottles, 7-Up back there, Pepsi. Different glasses and things such as that. And I think this is what a maybe like a little shop might have looked like. Have your scale here. You see the different weights, the cash, sewing machine, and then back here is a representation of the schoolhouse, and you can see the propaganda posters on the wall, kind of showing how great life is under communism and socialism from a propaganda standpoint. The construction, you got the children working in the schoolyard, planting, building dams and roads here, constructing buildings there. And then here's the schoolhouse. See the students dressed in uniforms. Back here on the wall, you even got a multiplication table
I grew up with one of those. The thing over there that you count with, and my light keeps going on and off. You can use the counter. I don't remember what those are called, but very popular back in the day. So yeah, really cool find here, this museum. And the man who took my money is also the curator and owner of this building. And it is about €4 to come in. $4 or so. Down at the front you can see some old publications, old photos. They probably don't show up very good with the glare. A very interesting place to visit and a reminder just how life was so much different just 30 some years ago. Very good museum.
Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely. Very different now than it was 30 years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Und das alles original.
All original.
Yes.
That's very good.
Thank you, sir.
I read your biography, said you went to Germany and then Italy, and you had your visit to Italy. How long have you been back to Hunedoara? What year?
10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
How long did it take you to build this museum?
This museum, 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, this year, 6.
Wow.
Yes.
Very nice.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have good time in Romania.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ciao.
Ciao.
A nice gentleman there. All right, we're going to head back to the city. That's a pretty cool place right there. You can buy a drink and then sit back on the patio and enjoy it, and it's about half the price of going into the pub. Then you can buy a beer for €1 or maybe $1.05, and then go back under the canopy of trees, get out of the sun. Kind of like a serve yourself type pub. So this pathway here on this lovely tree-lined street will take us back down into the main pedestrian zone. See back this way, another road that goes down that direction. Just amazed at how park-like this whole town seems to be. Most every street is kind of, rather green. You got the shrubbery here, you got the trees, and then even off the city area you got some restaurants. That's Pizza Roma. I had that before. This is a great cafe right there. Send, S-E-N-D, is a coffee shop. Go in there and get a cup of coffee for under €2, under $2. I think a cappuccino was 8 or 9 lei, which is right at $2. A espresso, a little less than that. Cafe latte, maybe a little bit more than that, but you're not going to spend roughly more than €2 to €3. What a very pleasant day out here in the latter part of summer. This video is actually being made over the course of 2 separate days. I went to the castle and then didn't realize I didn't turn the camera off, and GoPro batteries do not last very long. They were gone within about a half hour, I'd say, when I sat down to lunch. So I kind of missed out on that. There's a like the city hall building. Then you got the promenade, which we'll go down here momentarily. This is what we call at home a Chamber of Commerce day, weather-wise. This is a day that the tourism department will go out and take all their photos to show how pretty the town is. And you got that deep blue sky and sunshine and temperatures and mid 70 degrees, maybe about 23 or 24 Celsius. The fountains that I just showed actually have a musical, I don't know what you want to call it, a musical soundtrack or symphony that'll play with it at nighttime when it lights up. See some of the flowers around here. And then we'll walk the pedestrian zone. This is a weekday, early afternoon, so not terribly crowded out. Over here you have a couple different cafes. A draft beer down here will cost you a little bit less than €2, $2. The dollar and euro are almost the same again. I think there's a 5-cent difference. So €1 would be $1.05. €2 would be $2.10. I think this promenade was actually built 2017. I think is when I read the inscription. It is certainly a gathering place come evening time. Now we're in September, so school has started again. But afternoons and evenings, it's very crowded with different families and people riding their bicycles or scooters, skateboards even. This little outdoor cafe there. 7 lei for a draft beer. Call that about €1.50. $1.60 maybe. That's a cheap place you can get a cup of coffee called 5 to go. More coffee, less bucks. 5 lei is about €1 and $1 right now. Some more garden area, fountains. This is obviously a pedestrian only zone, so you're not going to get any cars buzzing up and down through here, but it is the main area for shopping, dining, and just very well laid out. It's wide, so even when it is crowded, you're not walking on top of each other. And just love how they've implemented a little bit of nature into it with all the trees, and you get a lot of birds. Sometimes too many. Those pigeons can be a little bit of an annoyance, but one thing I've noticed in Romania is a lot of secondhand textiles, secondhand clothing. I haven't been to one, but I've seen some signs out, and you can get relatively affordable secondhand clothing. I'm talking just like a couple of dollars. We're probably about 3 in the afternoon right now. So this will close out the pedestrian zone here, but we'll go pick up another one in just a few moments. There's actually 2 pedestrian zones. Grocery store there, that's the Carrefour. It is French owned, but pretty much all over Europe and the Caribbean too. I went shopping at a Carrefour in St. Martin a couple of years ago. This path takes you back towards the Corvin Castle. Probably a good mile or so walk back that way. And also back towards the Communist Museum. So you got like a little park area on this side. Just a lot of different places that you can get out of the heat of the day and the sunshine and relax in the shade. Down here, this park, I've walked through a little bit earlier, and you had some pensioners, some retirees. They had out the backgammon, the chess boards, things like that to pass the time. So we're going to walk back this direction, show a park, show the other pedestrian zone. More from Hunedoara coming. Check out this cathedral down in the heart of the city and smack dab in the middle of a park area. Very quiet this afternoon. Probably as quiet as I've seen it. Been in here a couple of times. It's a nice place to sit down and relax on a park bench. Maybe enjoy a cold beer from the grocery store or a cup of coffee from a local cafe. A little shot of the cathedral with the sun glinting off the top there. There's just several paths that kind of circle around and through here. This little grassy area over here, you saw some people, I don't know, a couple days ago. I remember kicking around a football, a soccer ball, to you and I. Playground area back that direction. But yeah, just a really nice area here in the center of town that a lot of people take advantage of, especially come evening time. You'll see pretty much all these park benches filled up with folks, but again, pretty early in the afternoon right now. Up ahead of me is a Kaufland, and that is like a major grocery retail outlet. It's kind of like a hypermarket, so you can buy food and then household goods, sometimes even like electronics and things such as that if you needed it. Definitely the biggest shopping area in town here. If you go just a few miles to the north, the town of Deva actually has two shopping malls. One is not very good. It looks like it was a holdover from yesteryears, not really very full of shops and options. But then they have what's called Shopping City, which is like a proper mall. Right through there is the Kaufland grocery store, and then we'll continue down to the other pedestrian zone. So we're down into the second pedestrian zone, and a bit smaller than the first one that we walked through moments ago, but a little shopping down here. You got it's like a photo store, print store, library. Town has several bike paths that run through the course of the city. Two restaurants down here. One I've tried, one I haven't. I've been to this one here, Kumarod, I think it's pronounced, and then Scorpion right next to it. I have not tried. You get a coffee for about €1, iced coffee for €2. A lot of seating areas down here, these benches. Little green space in the center. It's really neat. At nighttime it lights up a little bit. Through the course of the promenade, there's like fluorescent lighting, things such as that. Select Plus, it's kind of a like a personal item store. You can get like shampoo. Oh, I'm sorry, not Select Plus, but the one next to it, by Emotion. Shampoos, deodorants, similar things. You see some of the trees starting to fade their green. Nighttime lows are dropping into the 50-degree range, 12-13 degrees Celsius. So summer is around, but not for a whole lot longer. But weather-wise, today has just been absolutely perfect. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk around Hunedoara, Romania. A very, very pleasant town. Probably not discovered by many tourists other than coming out to visit the castle, but I'm thoroughly impressed with it. The people have been great. The restaurants are terrific. It's a very walkable city. Just a real pleasure of a place to visit. Good afternoon from Hunedoara.